Good evening, greetings, salutations. This is Passionate Bliss. I want to tell you about my walk through the Love Island villa. We did watch the episode where they had the competition tonight. Everyone did well, everyone was cute. Zach and Kayda had the sweetest song, but they had the worst voices. Um, so I'm not surprised that they were losers. I am surprised that the top two, uh, well, actually, the top three. I'm only surprised at the tie for second place. It shouldn't have been who it was, but the winner was in this case Mackenzie, and she did deserve the win. She had the best performance, and I think it was really cute how production managed to use that to save her. I'm not confused by anything that went down. Corbin, it was time for him to go because Corbin was the plant. He was the production plant. He was only there to help them manipulate the couples. That's over because if any of those other couples had went home and you leave the plant in there, you're sending home OG cast members. If Mackenzie left, she's OG. Production was not going to let one of their OG cast members go home and leave two plants in the villa. So the results make perfect sense to me. Some of you wasted your vote. I heard a lot of people actually saying that Corbin and Parmita had earned their vote because of their statements on Melanie and Sincere. I am surprised that Melanie and Sincere was at the top like that. But Melanie has a strong fan base. That was not a surprise. Kayda's fan base slipping, that surprised me. Because Kayda had a heavy fan base. She started, I think as time went on, she lost some of her fan base because of the treatment she allowed from Zach. So, because she came in really strong and was a high favorite. And at one point, she was in the lead with new followers. But eventually Melanie took over, and Melanie was in the lead with new followers each week. Because I do watch this one channel where the lady records who gained the most followers every week, and Melanie is in the lead. And so I guess her followers were willing to override the fact that Sincere is garbage. I'm pissed off, of course, that KC is still in there. I wanted KC gone. But last year it took us 2 votes to get rid of Taylor. So again, my expectation was 2 votes to get rid of KC. So hopefully they'll be gone on the next vote. Now I know that a lot of red pill, misogynists, and women haters, and mammies and pygmies voted for KC and his hood rat. But I don't want to see them in the final four. So those of you who wasted your votes on Corbin, we need to get those votes sent over to, I guess, Zach and Kayda. I guess Zach and Kayda need propping up now. Because I did see on a couple of the other polls that Carl is like the top third favorite villager. The top third favorite islander is Carl. So Carl is pulling him and Anaya up to the top. For those of you who hate Anaya and love KC, Carl's popularity is combating that. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be Bryce and Trinity, Carl and Anaya. It looks like Melanie and Sincere now because her fan base is not abandoning her. So Melanie and Sincere. Now we just need to get Zach and Kayda up there. I get it. I know that you all hate Zach. I hate Zach too. But he's not worse than Casey. He's not worse than Mackenzie. Zach, was plotting against the couples all season. He deliberately plotted seeds with all the couples, including Bryce and Trinity, more than once with Casey and Anaya. But they needed to break up, so that's fine. But I did not like the way he's been treating Kayda, and I think that's what a lot of people are reacting to. The fact that you would not feed her because she displeases you, that's borderline abuse, in my opinion. That's abuse. That's the sign. If you're looking for a red flag that you're involved with an abuser, it's somebody who would see you harmed if you displease them. A man that won't feed you because you didn't behave the way he wanted, that's borderline abuse. And he makes a lot of rude jokes. He's always trying to let her know that she's not the one. They're not together. He want to explore bombshells. He's not been treating her the way she deserves to be treated. He's been the worst one. He's treated her the worst of all the couples, in my opinion. As for how they individually themselves treated their female counterpart, Zach has been the worst one. And I see that the public is looks like they're willing to sacrifice Kayda for Zach, but I'm not. I'm not. Casey is the one who needs to go. I don't care about his hood rat love story. Let them go take their love story back to the hood where they belong. Y'all can watch them on their Instagram channel for as long as they last. But they might last a while because they're just alike. They're the same. Two hood rats from the hood. So I'm not particularly upset. Although I do see in the previews for the next episode that Kayda is upset that it should be Casey. She's correct. It should be Casey. But I also see that Zach is crying because he's smart enough to sense that it's him, that he's the issue. That and he actually hit it on the head. He said they don't think I'm good enough for her. He's not. Not that he's not good enough for her. He's just not treating her well enough. Nobody is being as rude to their mate as Zach is. So, I mean, Sincere is a piece of crap, but he's never disrespected Melanie to her face. Now he lies to her face, but he's never disrespected her to her face. He would never not feed her. I mean, come on. I get what he says because apparently, Sincere says we're not toxic. We just had toxic moments. He's not toxic to her face. His treatment of her is not toxic, but the way he acts behind her back, that's what's toxic. And so I get that, and I also feel like what Casey was saying, how have I disrespected Anaya? He feels because he's not disrespecting her to her face that he's not disrespectful. So apparently that's the theme with these guys. If I'm not rude and disrespectful to her face, then I'm not rude and disrespectful. So I think that's why Sincere is saying he's not toxic, even though the fact that this lady's been crying all summer, that means you're toxic. And so but it looks like she's melting again. She had a good time singing and dancing. She's back to kissing him again. So I guess she's melting for Sincere again. There's no telling. I don't understand people who do this toxic back and forth. So there's no telling what she's going to do. Because yesterday, and it seems like it changes every day. Yesterday, she was finished with him. Everything about her says, I'm finished with him. Then today, she was saying, you deserve a kiss. So she's giving him a kiss. But, yeah, it's interesting. But, yeah, I don't want anybody to, be too thrown off by the fact that the production plants are gone. They always had to leave at some point. Now you're down to OGs and who they picked. So I think maybe the votes will be a little bit more honest without the blatant attempt to save Kenzie with this contest. And we'll see how it goes from there. Let me know what you guys think. And y'all have sweet dreams. Wake to find them real.